So today we will learn about the Java class loaders. Let's start the learning. Types of Java class loaders. So how many built-in class loaders which Java provided? And what are the responsibilities of class loaders and what are the job of class loaders? Class loader subsystem. How JVM interact with the class loader? Delegation hierarchy model. So how this algorithm is used by the class loaders. And let's start the learning to class loader. So we have three types of class loader. First one is bootstrap loader. This is parent class loader in the hierarchy. Extension loader. Extension loader is the subloader of or subclass of bootstrap loader. So this is child loader for bootstrap, and third one is application loader. So this is the hierarchy of loaders. Application loader is a child of extension loader and extension loader is a child of bootstrap loader. Now let's understand what is the need of class loaders. So the Java class loader is a part of the Java runtime environment that dynamically loads Java classes into the JVM. Java classes are not loaded into memory all at once. Whenever class is required while application execution, while your program execution, so that time class loader load classes into memory dynamically. So this is the working of class loaders. Let's understand in easy way. Class loader subsystem. So this is near with JVM. JVM interact with the class loader and this interact with the hierarchy and provide the job to the class loaders. So class loader works accordingly to load the class. Now we have to learn the class loader's job. So another question is how source code comes into the JRE for execution. So suppose you have written your program in Java language. So you have .java file using any compiler. So for the Java source code you have JavaC compiler. Using the JavaC compiler you will compile your program to the .class file. So this .class file is a bytecode. This bytecode is platform independent. You can carry this bytecode to any operating system for execution. So whenever you want to execute your bytecode in the Java runtime environment, each operating system have a specific JVM. So if you are working on Mac, so you have Mac specific JDK and Mac specific Java environment. So suppose you are using any other operating system, so each operating system have different JVM. So JVM, what is JVM? JVM is Java Virtual Machine, which is part of Java runtime environment. Let's understand how class loader works. So when you will execute your bytecode on any operating system, so you will give command Java, your class name. So that time class loader comes into the picture and class loader loads your class file into the Java runtime environment. So your bytecode will go in the Java runtime environment for execution. Class loader provides your bytecode to the JVM. JVM invoke the verifier and verifier is responsible to check your bytecode is correct or not. Suppose this can be any harmful file. It can be any virus. It can be any anti-bytecode file. So verifier responsible to identify is it right bytecode, is it for our environment or not. So verified your bytecode. If this is okay, then this is the stage to initialize your bytecode. So initialization means this when class loader provides class file to the JVM. So JVM gets in byte array and convert into the object, and it provides to the memory. So after initialization, your bytecode will get memory in the memory area. So this class will part of memory area. So JVM provide the memory allocation for your source code. Now execution engine execute your code using the set of libraries. So this was small introduction about your bytecode, how your bytecode works in the Java runtime environment. So when JVM execute your bytecode into Java runtime environment, so it will return output to the end user. Let's come and understand another things. Delegation hierarchy model. So what is this delegation hierarchy model? Actually, this is an algorithm which is used by the class loaders. Class loader use this algorithm, and this algorithm have three principles: delegation principle, visibility principle, and uniqueness principle. So what are these principles? Actually, delegation model means, as we know already, we have three class loaders. System class loader is child class loader, and whenever a request is come to load your dot class file into the JVM, so this system class loader delegate this request to the parent. So again, extension class loader comes into the picture. It will delegate this request to the parent, because Bootstrap is the parent class loader. So Bootstrap is responsible to load your class, and it will check in the respective area. So delegation principle means whenever a request is come to the class loader delegate to the parent class loader, and if parent class loader didn't found, then it will again redelegate to the child class loader. So we will understand in this next picture. Let's understand visibility principle. This is another second one principle. Visibility principle loaded classes that are visible for same or subclass loaders, not by the parent class loader. If requested by the parent class loader, then it will throw an error, java.lang.class not found exception. Okay, so let's come to the another principle, uniqueness principle. Suppose you are requested to the JVM to load or to execute your class, then uniqueness principle, in this model, JVM ensure that classes are uniquely loaded without any duplicacy. So for this principle, it defines like only a requested class have unique file in the memory area, and it ensure that classes are uniquely loaded without any duplication. Also ensure that classes loaded by parent class loader are not loaded by the child class loader itself. So let's understand this and what are the class loader jobs and how they are using this principle while loading your class file and providing to the JVM. So suppose you have a Java file, you will compile your code javakdemo.java. So this is the way, using the compiler you are compiling your Java code. Now after compilation, if there is no compilation, then demo.class file, this is the bytecode, and to execute your demo.class file you are entering this command. You have to enter this command, java demo. So Javak and Java both are tool which are provided by the JDK. So these are the JDK tool, Javak for compilation, Java for run. So whenever Java demo is your file name, and after compilation demo is the class name. So Java demo, when you will press enter, JVM is invoked. So JVM is a runtime activity, and this is exists in your RAM memory area, because this comes into the picture at runtime. Yes, so JVM has a memory area. There are number of classes, because a source code have lots of files, lots of programs. So you are requested for demo class only. So firstly, when you enter this, JVM check inside the memory area. How it will check? Using the class loader subsystem, it will call a method to load this class. So if there are two options, if the class will found or not. So suppose there is no class in, because this is first time and JVM have memory area and demo is not exist inside this. Then again JVM request to the class loader subsystem that please invoke the class loaders and ask them to load demo.class inside the memory area, so we will verify and execute that demo.class file. Yes, so class loaders are coming into the picture. Application loader. Application loader is also known as system loader. It loads classes from the current class file. We can set class file while invoking a program using CP or class path. So application loader is responsible to load classes from the class path only. But this is not a right time to check inside the class path area. So whenever request is come to load the class, it will delegate the request. It will delegate the request to the parent. And who is the parent? Extension class loader is the parent. So extension loader comes into the picture because it is the parent of application loader. So again, again we have to know what it works. Actually, extension class loader, it load classes from the JDK extension directory, usually Java home libext directory. So it will check from there, but this is not the right time to check from check there. It will delegate this request to the parent, and Bootstrap loader is the parent parent class loader. So now this is responsible to check the demo.class and load from there. Yes, so when your program will execute in JVM, so there are uh, number of supporting library which required to execute your program. So Bootstrap loader is responsible to load only in this path JDK grlib. So it invoked all the supporting jar files. Suppose rt.jar file and java.lang. Respective classes. So there are number of jar files. So inside this JDK grlib, Bootstrap checks. So it load classes from there. Now if there is no class found in this location, then Bootstrap loader again invoke to the subclass loader, and it responsibility delegates to the extension loader. Extension loader checks the requested class in the extension directory. So this is the place where extension loader will search out. If there is no, then it will response to the extension loader that we don't have, and please forward this request or delegate this request to the subclass loader. So subclass loader comes into the picture, application loader, and application loader is responsible to load your class. So demo.class is your class. This is user defined class. So it will exist in the current directory where your source code is having. Otherwise, it will take help from the environment variable which you have set with the helping of class path. So with the helping of class path, it will invoke demo.class file in the memory area. So there are two options here. Either demo.class will found or not. So if demo.class is not found, then it will response to the class loader subsystem that we don't have any specific class in this location, and class path is not able to provide this location, so you have to respond to the end user. So class not found exception will be thrown by the JVM to the end user. Now what is another option? There was another option that demo class is found. If demo class is found, then this is loaded by the application class loader into the JVM environment. So in the JVM environment, now class is loaded, and JVM will verify this demo.class by the verifier, instantiation, and memory allocation. Execution engine will execute, and